All right, what's going on, everyone? Connor on Chain here, bringing you guys general market update. This is gonna be, a simple update because if you guys saw my last video, my latest videos, BRC20s have been flying. They have been going crazy in the market recently. Same with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is mainly what I want to talk about right now. Bitcoin is up 4%, almost 5%. Is that on the day though? Or is that week or month? Let me see here. Yeah, in 24 hours, bro. Like, yo, I'm not gonna lie. The chart of Bitcoin is looking a little up only right now. Like, that's getting to a point where you would think that this is 2021 is like beginning again. You know? And there's a lot of different factors that could be going into why, price is moving so heavily. But obviously, there's a ton of bullishness for Bitcoin itself, including, I'm not going to go too deep, but we got baseline stuff that everyone understands potentially for an ETF. ETF should be approved at some point. And election year, too. That's another one. Mainly the election. This could be a huge factor. It could also be a potentially make or break, depending on which way the election goes, but I'm not here to get into that at all. So anyways, yeah, Bitcoin has been going up only pretty hard, I'm not gonna lie. So this is it's getting to a point where it's pretty scary for me. Because like looking just in the last cycle and just how stuff like this played out, seeing like major moves to the upside, especially like during the middle of a technical bear market. Like if we look back at other bear markets here, this bear market started and oh my god, this bear market started at some point in 2018, continued, had a nice dip, but this one right in 2019 had a huge run up for months. Bitcoin slowed. People probably thought this was the, beginning of the bull run right here. August of 2019. And then price just slowly trickled back down. And, then obviously the COVID dip happened, which I don't think anyone really expected that. Because I think if this didn't dip, this probably could have continued to the upside here. But bottom line, in the middle of these bear markets, at least in the last one, we had price dumped and dipped for a long time, had a huge run up. Then it had some consolidation / downside again, before finally making that real move up. But the difference here is the time frame. Like this happened. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know why I keep fucking yawning, bro. My fault. But in the last, run up here, that's what I was saying. Is this happened in the middle of 2019, all right? Which is way different than where we're at here. But this happened in the middle of 2019. The halving then happened, maybe 7-8 months, if not even longer than that, after the initial run up and the consolidation. We're at a point here where I guess it is kind of similar, but it's not exactly the same. Price, I'm like, what am I doing, bro? But anyways, price here it's looking like we're in November of 2023. No, we're not. Yo, we're in December. What is going on today? Anyways, we're in December. Oh my God. And, the halving is actually going to be in April. From the knowledge that I have on cycles here. So potentially April, May is when the cycle is going to hit. But we're in this up only phase, still a few months before the halving. But historically, from what we've seen, it usually takes a few months before Bitcoin even starts to potentially move to the upside, Because the halving here happened in April, I'm pretty sure. Excuse me. And then from April into, basically October of 2020. That's April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Like 6 months after the halving is when Bitcoin really decided to take off and just hit the moon. But like I said, like this is not the same time frame if we're looking at it from the same 4-year cycle perspective. Like we're not at this phase yet, obviously. But there could be a long-term, consolidation phase as price keeps continuing, as price goes up. But yeah, the chart, I really don't know what's gonna happen here. I wanna give you guys exactly what I think, but it's very hard because I play this market like a bear most of the time. And I've predicted, you guys have probably seen it in my Discord if you're a Patreon member. But if not, I've called I thought I've called the top like maybe 3 times already. Like I thought here would be a top, price is gonna dip, come back down, pull that little dip that we've been waiting for and go. Nope, that didn't happen. I thought this major dip here was gonna be the start of the actual downtrend. Like after it came up, did this, I thought there's going to be one more downside move before the actual pullback. But no, that didn't happen either. I thought the tip of this, after looking at the momentum here, bro, that just looks so clean. Just a nice clean sweep to the upside. But from here, what I expect is literal just red candles. Eventually another push up here. And honestly, I think from here, this is going to be very close to a top, if not the actual top right now. And so the point of this video is kind of what I want to talk about right now. So if you guys are in a lot of positions, especially a lot of micro caps, it can never hurt to take a lot of profits. It can never hurt to take a little bit of profits. It can't hurt to take a tiny bit of profits off the table. I know that I'm someone, I preach just hold for the whole bull run, and that's still my thesis for, 95% of the coins I'm in. And the reason why I say that though is because these projects that I'm getting in and that I want everyone else to get in is because we're buying like the lowest points possible in the projects. In my opinion, it doesn't matter where Bitcoin is in the cycle or whatever, this bear market / bull market phase. If you're getting into these altcoins at the right time at the bottom, no matter if it pumps and then it dumps again and continues, you're still getting in right at the bottom of these projects and these moves. And every project is going to have a different time frame in which it's going to hit that literal zero bottom phase, which is why I preach so heavy. If you guys get in these like really good entries, just hold long term, because if you get in at a good enough entry in most of these micro caps or smaller caps, you can withstand the massive up, pushes up like this. And then you're going to be able to withstand the dip here because your entry is still going to be 1, 2, 3, 4x higher than, this entire dip when it comes back down. Usually your coin's not going to go way lower than it did before unless Bitcoin literally decided to just shit the bed and start something like this and like actually go to zero, which it's always a possibility, I'm not gonna lie, but I doubt that is ever gonna happen. But anyways, yeah, that's kind of what the market's doing. Bitcoin, like I said, has been flying. I think altcoins are still gonna have an insane rotation, over the next whatever, maybe potential week. But like a lot of altcoins have been performing like crazy. Absolutely nuts. So shout out everyone if you guys have got in some of the, the coins that I got in, whether they're BRC20s, whether they're ERC20s. I don't focus only on BRC20 coins. Like that to me is just a niche that I found, and I've been in since, the birth of it. Earlier this year, at the beginning of the year, I've seen it play out, and it's something I just have high conviction in, mainly because it's such an experimental thing built on top of, the one coin that actually created the entire market, That's why I think BRC20s are going to be one of the top narratives no matter what. You know, and there's like DRC20s, there's all these different other ones too, which, you know, like I'm pretty bullish on a lot of that stuff as well. But I don't know too much about some of these other like smaller protocols. But no, going forward, I believe BRC20s and anything that's gonna revolve around things on top of Bitcoin. Obviously, ordinal NFTs are going to easily overtake many ETH NFTs. I think Bitcoin frogs alone, if you guys follow, those are going to multiple Bitcoin. Easily 1 Bitcoin each. I guarantee it's going to be probably more than that. They're going to be the Bored Ape Yacht Club of this cycle. I don't think maybe Bored Apes will reclaim their 100, 200 ETH floor, like, you know, whatever they were. But I think Bitcoin frogs, and there's going to be a couple ordinal projects I feel like that are going to get very, very high up there. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people are already in them. You know, I'm so bullish on ordinals. I think in the long term, they're going to outperform, you know, not really BRC20 specifically. I'm talking about ordinals as in like NFTs and stuff. Those are going to outperform a lot, if not almost all NFTs, because they are actually stored on Bitcoin. They can't be taken out, you know. And it's like if you're in a good project that constantly delivers, especially in the long term, like at least throughout this whole bull run, you know, there's zero reason why your project cannot go to literally infinity, bro. So that's kind of what I got for you guys today. This is just, again, mainly I wanted to just bring this up because Bitcoin has been up only for a long time now. You know, let's just see this pump here. Bitcoin's up 100-something% in the last, oh, actually, that's a literal, almost a year. So it's been going up pretty hard for a year. But this is what I wanted to bring up before I go. This reminds me very much so of right here. You know, Bitcoin finally had that dip. Here it was up almost 300%. You know, and then from here it just, from here it had a little top out. Continued to trend to the downside, consolidate. You know, and right here could have been another actual bottom, but then obviously COVID happened. And from here, that's kind of what happened with, I guess, this sort of bear market. And again, if you bought anywhere in this, you could have bought here. You could have bought the literal top here. Like, let me zoom into that. Let's go to the, like, dude, if you were this guy who bought the actual tip of this top, you would still be heavily in profit when it came to the actual bull run. And that to me was what, you know, I've talked about in some videos before. It's kind of outside the point right now, but yeah, like Bitcoin's run came up, came back down, you know, before really taking off. And this is what I'm afraid of happening. But in crypto, you know, I don't think everything is going to be up only like that. I still believe that a heavy correction is coming at some point. You know, it could be in the beginning of this year. It could be in January, February, it really starts to tank. You know, maybe for like a couple months until March, like April. Could pull something like this. Like, you know, no one knows. The chart could do this. It could go up, come back down, you know, then just continue up. It could continue up literally into, you know, way before the halving. You know, no one knows. But again, I'm still waiting on a heavy dip, but that's really all I got for you guys today. Oh no, one more thing. I was trying to emphasize this and then I got sidetracked talking about that and that and that. But don't be afraid to take profits, guys. If you are up extremely hard right now, just off this last, you know, this run from September to November, if you are up a good amount, do not be afraid to take even like 20%, 30%, 50% profit right now. Because again, I really do not see Bitcoin going much higher than this right now. And if it does, great. Again, I'd love to see it keep continuing up. That's just more potential money for everyone to make. But at some point it's going to correct. And it's gonna have a decent sized correction. It's gonna be a long-term correction. I'm not talking about a dip tomorrow down to 35K and then it just bounces again next week. No, this is going to take at least probably a few days to a few months to actually consolidate before dropping. And then it's gonna have its correction. It might take it 2 to 3 months for this to actually play out. Like everything that I'm talking about with the dip here before continuing new highs. So if it continues higher, great. But again, I want everyone to win. And if you guys can sell a good portion of profits that you're up, wait a little bit and see potentially if Bitcoin drops. You know what? Bottom line, no one went broke taking profits. So if you guys want to take profits in some of your coins, feel free. It's definitely a solid time. I don't know. I firmly just believe it's a decent time to take profits, to potentially rotate into new ones that are at lower points, or to just have a little bit more on the sidelines to not wait. You just made a nice play, a nice run over the last few days to a month. Now just let it sit, let it run. Even if it goes like this, continues, it's like eventually it's gonna pull back or something. I have a firm belief that's gonna happen. So I'm just continuing on the same stuff. So I'm gonna wrap this up here. Just wanted to talk about Bitcoin a little bit for you guys. It's kind of my conviction in the market right now. I'm looking into a bunch of different narratives. Gonna be dropping a lot more alpha too on some new coins, some new projects. So keep your notifications on. If you don't have them on, put them on. Like, subscribe, comment what coins you guys are in. I want to hear it. And that's all I got for you today. So I'll see you in the next video.